My fiancée texted, "Wedding still on, but I'm spending the last few nights before with my ex for closure." I replied, "Do what you need to do." Then I called the venue and cancelled everything. My fiancée Sarah and I have been together for 4 years. We got engaged last summer, and our wedding was supposed to be this Saturday. Was. Past tense. Let me explain. Everything was perfect. Or at least I thought it was. We'd planned this beautiful ceremony at a vineyard outside the city. 200 guests. A jazz band. Sarah had found her dream dress 6 months ago and cried when she first tried it on. My best man had his speech ready. My parents flew in from overseas 2 days ago. Everything was falling into place like we'd always imagined. Then, 3 nights ago, I got a text from Sarah around 11 p.m. I was at my bachelor party, nothing crazy, just dinner and drinks with my groomsmen at a nice steakhouse. We were keeping it low-key since the wedding was so close. I was having a great time, laughing with my college friends, feeling on top of the world about marrying the woman I loved. The text read, "Hey babe, I need to talk to you about something important. Can you call me when you get a chance?" My stomach dropped immediately. You know that feeling when you just know something's wrong? I excused myself and called her right away. She picked up on the first ring. "What's wrong?" I asked, probably sounding more panicked than I intended. "Nothing's wrong, exactly," she said, and I could hear that tone in her voice. That careful, measured tone she uses when she's about to say something she knows I won't like. "I just wanted to let you know that I've been thinking a lot about us, about the wedding, about our future together." Okay. I was standing outside the restaurant now, pacing on the sidewalk. And I realized there's something I need to do before we get married. For closure. For myself. The word closure hit me like a freight train. Nothing good ever follows that word. "What kind of closure?" I asked, though part of me already knew. "I need to see Marcus," she said. Marcus. Her ex-boyfriend from college. The guy she dated for 2 years before we met. The guy she occasionally mentioned in stories about her past. The guy whose Instagram she definitely didn't still follow. Oh wait, she absolutely did. "Why do you need to see Marcus 3 days before our wedding?" I was trying to keep my voice steady, but I could feel anger rising in my chest. "Because I need to make sure," she said. "I need to make sure that I'm making the right decision. That I'm not leaving any questions unanswered. That I'm fully present and committed when I walk down that aisle to you." I stood there in silence for what felt like an hour but was probably only 10 seconds. "Are you saying you have doubts about marrying me?" No. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I love you. I want to marry you. But Marcus reached out to me last week. He what? He reached out to me. He's going through a divorce, and he wanted to talk. And when I heard from him, it brought up all these old feelings and memories, and I realized I never properly ended things with him. We just kind of drifted apart when we graduated. There was never closure. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Sarah, we're getting married in 3 days. 3 days. And you're telling me you need to go see your ex-boyfriend for closure?" I know the timing isn't ideal. The timing isn't ideal? I was practically shouting now. Some people walking by looked at me concerned. I lowered my voice. "Sarah, this is insane. You want to go see your ex-boyfriend right before our wedding because he's suddenly single again and that's what? Making you question everything?" "It's not like that," she insisted. "I'm not questioning everything. I just need to see him one time, talk to him, get closure on that chapter of my life, and then I can move forward with you with a completely clear conscience." "And if I say no?" There was a pause. "Then I'll respect that. But I'll always wonder. And I don't want to start our marriage with that wonder in the back of my mind." I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. This woman, who I'd been planning to spend the rest of my life with, was essentially holding our relationship hostage unless I let her go see her ex-boyfriend days before our wedding. "How long?" I asked. "What? How long would you need with him?" Another pause. "Longer this time. He lives upstate. About 3 hours away." I was thinking. Maybe I'd spend a couple of nights there. Thursday and Friday. Then I'd be back Saturday morning, plenty of time before the ceremony. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. It was such an absurd thing to say that laughter was the only response that made sense. "You want to spend 2 nights at your ex-boyfriend's house, 3 days before you marry me, for closure." "I'd stay at a hotel nearby," she said quickly. "Not at his place. We'd just talk. Catch up. Figure things out." "Figure what out, Sarah? You're supposed to be marrying me. What is there to figure out with him?" "Whether I made the right choice, she said quietly. When I chose you over him. That sentence. Those words. They destroyed something in me. She hadn't chosen me. We'd met 2 years after she and Marcus broke up. There was no choice involved. But apparently, in her mind, there had been. And apparently, she wasn't sure she'd chosen correctly. I stood there on that sidewalk, with my friends inside celebrating my upcoming wedding, and I felt completely and utterly alone. So what are you asking me? I finally said. Are you asking for my permission? My blessing? I'm asking for your understanding, she said. I'm asking you to trust me. I love you. I want to marry you. But I need to do this first. Every fiber of my being wanted to scream. Wanted to tell her absolutely not. Wanted to demand she forget about Marcus and focus on us. But another part of me, the part that was tired and hurt and suddenly seeing everything clearly, thought, if she needs to do this, if she has doubts this close to our wedding, then maybe we shouldn't be getting married at all. The wedding's still on? I asked. Yes. Of course. I'll be back Saturday morning. Everything will be fine. Better than fine. I just need these 2 days. 2 days. 48 hours before she'd promised to love me forever, she needed to spend time with another man. The logic of it was baffling. Do what you need to do, I said flatly. Really? She sounded relieved. Actually relieved. Thank you for understanding. I know this is weird, but I promise you, this is the right thing. When I marry you on Saturday, I'll be 100% sure, with no doubts, no questions. This is actually good for us. Sure, I said. Good for us. I love you, she said. I couldn't say it back. I'll see you Saturday, I said, and hung up. I stood there for another minute, processing what had just happened. Then I went back inside, told my friends I wasn't feeling well, and went home. They tried to get me to stay, but I couldn't be around people. Couldn't pretend everything was fine. I spent that entire night lying awake, staring at my ceiling, playing the conversation over and over in my head. Every time I closed my eyes, I pictured Sarah with Marcus. Laughing. Talking. Touching. Maybe more. By 4 a.m., I'd made my decision. I wasn't going to sit around and wait to be someone's backup plan. I wasn't going to marry someone who needed to audition other options 3 days before our wedding. If Sarah had doubts, if she needed closure with an ex, if she was questioning whether she'd chosen correctly, then she'd given me all the clarity I needed. As soon as it hit 8 a.m., I started making calls. First, I called the venue. Explained there was an emergency and we needed to cancel. They were sympathetic but firm about their cancellation policy. I'd lose the entire deposit, about $8,000. I didn't care. I told them to cancel everything. The ceremony space, the reception hall, the catering, the bar service. Everything. Then I called the photographer. Cancelled. The videographer. Cancelled. The florist. Cancelled. The band. Cancelled. The cake maker. Cancelled. With each call, I felt a strange sense of relief mixed with devastating sadness. This was supposed to be the happiest week of my life, and instead, I was systematically dismantling all our plans. I called my best man and told him what happened. He was furious on my behalf. She's doing what? And you're just letting her go? I'm not stopping her, I said. But I'm not waiting for her either. He understood immediately. You're canceling the wedding. Already done. Holy shit, man. Are you okay? No, I admitted. But I will be. I called my parents next. That was harder. My mom cried. My dad was silent for a long moment, then said, "You're making the right call, son. If she's not sure about you, then you deserve better." I called Sarah's parents too. That was the worst call. They were confused, shocked, hurt. "Can't you two work this out?" her mother asked. "Every couple has cold feet before the wedding." "This isn't cold feet," I said. "Ask your daughter what she's doing right now. Ask her where she is." I didn't wait to hear their response before hanging up. By noon on Thursday, everything was cancelled. Sarah had left that morning to drive upstate. She'd texted me a few times, on the road. "Love you. Stopped for coffee. Thinking about you. Almost there." I didn't respond to any of them. Thursday night, she texted, "Had dinner with Marcus. Lots to talk about. But I miss you. Can't wait to marry you Saturday." I stared at that text for 20 minutes. Can't wait to marry you. After spending the evening with her ex. The cognitive dissonance was staggering. Friday morning, slept great. Today's going to be good. Love you so much. Friday afternoon, Marcus and I went for a hike. Beautiful trails up here. You'd love it. She was sending me updates about her romantic getaway with her ex-boyfriend like it was completely normal. Like I should be happy for her. Like this wasn't the most disrespectful thing anyone had ever done to me. Friday evening, she called. I didn't answer. She called again. I let it ring. Text, hey, is everything okay? You haven't responded all day. Another text, babe, you're worrying me. Please call me back. Another call. I ignored it. I was done. I was completely, utterly done. I'd cancelled our entire wedding, and she had no idea. Part of me felt guilty. But a bigger part of me felt vindicated. She wanted closure with Marcus? Fine. She was about to get closure with me too. Friday night, around 9 p.m., I was sitting in my apartment with my best man, drinking whiskey and watching basketball, when Sarah called again. This time, I answered. Finally, she said. I've been trying to reach you all day. Why haven't you been responding? Been busy, I said simply. Busy with what? The bachelor party was Wednesday. What have you been doing? Just tying up loose ends. Okay, well, I wanted to let you know I'm heading back tomorrow morning. Early. I'll be home by 10 a.m., which gives me plenty of time to get ready. I'm so excited. This weekend is going to be perfect. Is it? I asked. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? How's Marcus? He's good. We had some really great conversations. I'm glad I came. I feel so much better about everything now. That's wonderful, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm that she completely missed. It really is. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I love you so much. See you tomorrow, I said, and hung up. My best man looked at me. You're cold, man. She has no idea what's coming, I said. Should you maybe give her a heads up? She gave me a heads up that she was spending 2 nights with her ex 3 days before our wedding. I think we're even. Saturday morning came. I woke up early, showered, made coffee. Today was supposed to be my wedding day. Instead, it was just Saturday. Around 9:30 a.m., my phone started ringing. It was a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Hi, is this Daniel? A woman's voice. Yes? This is Jessica from Willow Creek Vineyard. I'm calling because we have Sarah here for her bachelorette brunch, and there seems to be some confusion about the cancellation. I closed my eyes. There's no confusion. I canceled the wedding on Thursday. Oh. A long pause. Does the bride know this? She's about to. I could hear muffled voices in the background. Then, sir, she's asking to speak with you. More muffled voices. Then I heard it. Sarah's voice, distant but clear. What do you mean it's cancelled? The phone fumbled, and then Sarah was on the line. Daniel? Daniel? What is going on? The venue woman is saying you canceled everything on Thursday? That can't be right. Tell her there's been a mistake. There's no mistake, I said calmly. I canceled the wedding Thursday morning. Silence. Complete, absolute silence. Then, you. What? I canceled everything. The venue, the photographer, the flowers, the food, the band. All of it. Why would you? Her voice was rising. Why would you do that? Because you needed closure with Marcus, and I realized I needed closure with you. Daniel, this is insane. I was coming back today. The wedding's today. The wedding was today, I corrected. Now it's just Saturday. I could hear her breathing, fast and panicked. This is because of Marcus? Because I went to see him? I told you I needed closure. And I told you to do what you needed to do, I said. So I did what I needed to do. You can't just cancel our wedding without telling me. Funny, you felt perfectly comfortable spending 2 nights with your ex-boyfriend without really consulting me. That's completely different. Is it? I asked. Because from where I'm sitting, we both made choices. You chose to see if Marcus was a better option. I chose not to wait around while you figured that out. It wasn't about him being a better option. It was about closure. Right. Closure. Which you needed 3 days before promising to spend forever with me. That tells me everything I need to know about how ready you were to get married. I was ready. I am ready. I want to marry you. After spending 2 nights with your ex-boyfriend. After questioning whether you made the right choice when you picked me. After prioritizing closure with him over respect for me and our relationship. So that's it? Her voice cracked. You're just going to throw away 4 years because I needed a few days? You threw it away the second you told me you weren't sure if you'd chosen correctly. The second you prioritized Marcus's feelings and your curiosity over our relationship. I'm just acknowledging what you already decided. I could hear crying now. Not just Sarah, but other voices in the background. Her bridesmaids, probably. Her mother. Good. Let them all hear what she'd done. Daniel, please. Please don't do this. We can fix this. We can postpone the wedding, go to counseling, work through this. Please. I don't want to fix it, I said, surprised by how calm I felt. I want to move on. With someone who doesn't need to audition other men before committing to me. I wasn't. Yes, you were. And maybe you don't see it that way, but that's exactly what you did. And I deserve better than that. I deserve someone who's sure. Who doesn't have doubts. Who doesn't need closure with an ex 3 days before our wedding. I love you, she sobbed. If that's what your love looks like, I said quietly, then I don't want it. And I hung up. My phone immediately started blowing up. Calls from Sarah. From her mom. From her bridesmaids. From mutual friends. I turned it off. For the next few hours, I sat in my apartment with my best man, my parents, and a few close friends who came over when they heard what happened. We ordered pizza. Drank beer. Watched TV. It was surreal. This was supposed to be the day I got married, and instead, I was having a casual Saturday with friends. Around 3 p.m., right when the ceremony would have started, someone knocked on my door. I opened it to find Sarah standing there, still in the outfit she'd worn to her bachelorette brunch, mascara running down her face. Can we talk? She asked. I looked back at my friends. My best man nodded. I stepped into the hallway, closing the door behind me. What else is there to say? I asked. Everything, she said. There's everything to say. I made a mistake. A huge, terrible mistake. I shouldn't have gone to see Marcus. I shouldn't have prioritized that over you. I was stupid and selfish and I'm so sorry. Okay, I said. Apology noted. That's it? Just apology noted? What do you want me to say, Sarah? That it's fine? That we can just reschedule the wedding and pretend this never happened? I want you to fight for us, she said desperately. I want you to be angry and yell at me and tell me I'm an idiot, but that you still love me and we can fix this. I'm not going to fight for someone who wasn't sure she wanted to be fought for, I said. You had doubts. You needed to see Marcus to make sure. Which means you weren't sure about me. About us. And I can't spend my life with someone who sees me as the backup plan. You're not the backup plan. Then what am I, Sarah? What was the point of spending 2 nights with Marcus if not to see if you made the wrong choice 4 years ago? She opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. I just needed to know what could have been. And now you do, I said. And I needed to know what my life looks like without someone who isn't fully committed to me. So we both got closure. Did you? She asked, tears streaming down her face. Did you get closure? Or are you just hurt and lashing out? Maybe both, I admitted. But hurt or not, my decision stands. I'm not marrying you. Not today. Not next month. Not ever. Because even if we worked through this, even if we went to counseling and rebuilt trust, I'd always know that you questioned us. That you needed to check if Marcus was better. And I can't live with that knowledge. So 4 years means nothing to you? 4 years means everything to me, I said. Which is why this hurts so much. But those 4 years don't obligate me to ignore massive red flags. They don't mean I have to marry someone who isn't sure about me. We stood there in silence for a long moment. What happens now? She asked quietly. Now we move on, I said. Separately. You figure out what you want. I figure out what I need. And maybe someday we'll both end up with people who are absolutely sure about us. I was sure about you, she whispered. No, I said gently. You wanted to be sure. There's a difference. She nodded slowly, wiping her eyes. I really do love you, you know. I know, I said. And I loved you too. But love isn't enough when there's no certainty. No trust. No respect. For what it's worth, she said, Marcus and I didn't do anything physical. We just talked. Does that make it better? I asked. You spent 2 nights emotionally reconnecting with an ex before our wedding. Whether you kissed him or slept with him doesn't really change the betrayal. She flinched at the word betrayal, but didn't argue. I should go, she said finally. Yeah, I agreed. She turned to leave, then looked back. I hope you find someone who deserves you. I hope you figure out what you actually want, I replied. And then she was gone. I went back inside. My friends didn't ask questions. We just sat there, existing together, and honestly, it was exactly what I needed. Later that night, after everyone had left, I sat alone in my apartment and let myself feel everything. The hurt. The anger. The sadness. The relief. All of it crashed over me in waves, and I cried for the first time since this whole thing started. I cried for the future I'd imagined with Sarah. For the family we'd talked about having. For the life we'd planned. For the person I thought she was. But I also felt something else underneath all that pain, certainty. Absolute certainty that I'd made the right choice. Because if someone truly loves you, truly wants to marry you, truly is sure about you, they don't need closure with an ex 3 days before the wedding. They don't question their choice. They don't make you feel like a backup plan. And I deserve someone who's absolutely sure about me. Someone who doesn't need to see what else is out there before committing. Someone who chooses me every single day, not just when all other options have been explored. So yeah, I canceled my wedding 2 days before it was supposed to happen. I lost deposits. I disappointed family. I probably looked crazy to a lot of people. But I kept my self-respect. And honestly, that's worth more than any wedding ever could be. Update, 3 days later. Holy shit. This post blew up way more than I expected. Thank you all for the support and kind words. It's been really helpful to know I'm not crazy for handling things the way I did. A few updates. 1. Sarah's been trying to reach me constantly. Calls, texts, showing up at my apartment, even sending her friends to try to talk to me. I've maintained my position. It's over. 2. Apparently Marcus ended things with her after she went back home Saturday. She told him about the cancelled wedding, and he said he wasn't interested in being the reason for it or getting back together. So that's karmic, I guess. 3. I've started therapy. This whole situation brought up some stuff I need to work through about trust and relationships. 4. I'm staying with my parents for a few weeks. Getting away from the city and the constant reminders is helping. 5. I got a Facebook message from a woman named Jennifer who claimed to be Marcus's soon-to-be ex-wife. Apparently, Marcus had told Sarah he was getting divorced, but according to Jennifer, they were very much still together until he suddenly asked for a divorce last month. The timeline is suspicious. 6. I'm doing okay, all things considered. Some days are harder than others, but I don't regret my decision. Thank you all again. Sometimes you need strangers on the internet to tell you you're not insane. You all did that for me.